Hey guys, what's up? So today I'm going to teach you how to squat and how to do it properly to get those booty gains. So squatting can either be the best thing for you or the worst thing for you. I've seen so many people do it wrong and it scares me, it makes me cringe, and it makes my knees and my back hurt. So to properly engage your glutes and make sure that the squat is actually working your butt and not your back, these are just a couple tips that you need to nail down. I'm gonna say take off the weight. So a lot of people are like, oh, I gotta squat heavy to get those booty gains, which you do. Squatting heavy is great, but if you're not having the correct form, you're not doing any good for yourself. So take off the weight. Maybe even take off the barbell, just do some dumbbells or air squats. I did this for a very long time until I built up that muscle and I built up that muscle memory, so I knew exactly what I needed to do when I loaded up on the barbell. So, okay, so I know you can't really see my face, this is awkward, but this is all you really need to see. So I'm just gonna show you a couple ways to do your squat and a couple things not to do. So first of all is finding your stance. A lot of people will do kind of a narrow or hip width stance. I prefer more of a sumo, not super excessive, but just a little wider than hip width apart. This way, I feel like personally I'm able to squat down deeper when I'm in this rather than this. Everybody squats differently. Everybody's body is different. It's gonna look different on everyone. I just wanna make sure that you're not making any of these mistakes, protecting your knees, protecting your back, because squats are amazing, but they could also be pretty bad if you're doing them improperly. So to protect your knees, squats for one should not hurt your knees. If your knees are hurting and you don't have an actual knee injury, then you're doing something wrong. I completely blew out my knee, my ACL, PCL, meniscus, and ruptured my patella. It's been a while, but the doctor told me I would never be able to squat, and I'm squatting just fine, absolutely no pain. So it can be done. To protect your knees, I want you to focus on your feet placement. So you always want them out just a little bit, not crazy, out just slightly, because your knees are gonna follow that. So I want you to practice this. Place them out just a little bit and go down like that. No pressure, I'm feeling it in my quads, but not on my knees at all. If I stand normally, feet straight, and go down like that, I feel all the pressure in my kneecaps, and even just that is painful. So always have them out just a little bit, and then find what stance works best for you. So now I'm gonna do a side view and show you a proper squat and then things to look for when you are squatting. So I'm gonna get my stance, and it's okay to kind of take a while to do this. So, leveling up my feet, making sure my knees and everything, I feel good here. And then arms out, I'm just gonna go down and back up. And you can see I'm squeezing my glutes when I come up. I'm not going like this. When you might see a lot of fitness trainers doing this, or Instagram people saying, oh, the ugly butt squeeze like that. And honestly, I used to do that too, but I didn't realize that when you have weight on your back, this is making my back arch, and that's putting a lot of unnecessary pressure there. And honestly, my glutes are disengaged when I'm doing this, and I feel it more because I have really tight hips. So you're gonna go down, and then you're just gonna kind of hold it right there. So knees are still bent. You never wanna lock out, still bent, and then I go back down. When I'm squatting and keeping my chest up, that helps my butt sink down lower instead of kind of caving. Whew. And usually you want your chin tucked too. Anytime you're looking up like this, it causes your back to arch more. Whereas when I'm like this, my back is more neutral. So I have my weight right here, and you can see you can't see, my heels are not coming off the floor. So if they are, that means you're leaning forward too much. If you're squatting and you're kind of shaking, you should always have a very firm stance. Other reasons this could be happening is that your shoes, they're made for comfort, right? So when you walk, they kind of roll back and forth. So you might need to get a flat platform shoe. That's why people use Converse to squat in, because they're flat. So you're on the ground and you're flat, you're not rolling. Or just take them off. So, or make sure you're really sitting back. So think about, you're trying to sit in a chair. You don't sit in a chair like this, right? You sit in a chair like, I'm gonna sit down. So weight is always in my heels. I'm sitting down and then back up. Again, I'm not arching my back when I go down, so not super, you'll always have an arch because that's just your lumbar. It has a little arch and you don't want to be hollowed out when you're squatting. So you'll have a slight arch, but just be mindful of it, that you're not super arched or super curved like that. And then back up. So that is how you do a squat. I want you to practice that. One huge thing that I see very often is your knees are caving in when you're squatting. So sometimes it's not always super obvious. You go down and they just kind of cave in a little bit. This knot one hurts my hips, my ankles, my shins, my knees too. It's not doing me any good in a squat for my glutes if I'm going like this. So to fix this, you can put a band. This is the only time I suggest using a band while doing squats. Bands, like you see people putting a band on for like barbell squats and stuff, it's really not doing anything but telling you to push your knees apart more. So you put your resistance band like right here, and you're training when you go down and up, you're training to push up against that resistance band the whole time, so you're not caving in. So you train those muscles to do that. So if you do notice that you kind of cave in a little bit when you're going, then definitely put a band around. I also always suggest recording your squat if you aren't in front of a mirror. So even when you're in front of a mirror, you really focus on the weight. I can't see what's going on. So I always record myself from the side. Your barbell should be going up and down. I don't want to see it going back and forth. You want a good trail of just straight down and back up. If your barbell is moving like this, that's a good indication of something's wrong. You're using too much of your back. So that is how you do a squat. I want you to practice that with no weight. So take off the weight and just, I'm like out of breath from squatting now. And just get used to that. It takes muscle memory, it takes repetition to get that down. So then when you do get to a place where your form is perfect, you can start adding on the weight, and it's just gonna be kind of a mind thing at that time, because your body knows how to push the weight and you have good form. You'll be able to be squatting a lot more than you did before. So just remember, form is everything. Make sure you're really engaging those glutes. Like just those couple squats, my glutes are kind of burning. So that is a good indication that I just got good glute engagement in my squat.